Today I thought about taking up smoking. It's a terrible idea, and smokers literally, well, near enough, make me ill. But every once in a while I will see a smoker that looks introspective when they smoke. Is that the word I'm looking for? Introspective? Yep, I'm sticking with it. I just want to be introspective. This girl walking down the street last night stopped by a tree to smoke or enjoy it, the tree maybe, without the distraction of movement. And it had been raining and the lights were reflecting on the sidewalk. It was absolutely a beautiful image. Makes me tear up thinking about it. Which I did when it happened. I stood there and cried. Stupid. Sometimes I think it's literally the chick parts overstimulating the rest of me. My body temperature, my emotions, my tear ducts especially. I mean, I could cry right now in front of you. Right here. No reason. And I'm not on my fucking period, so don't ask. I went to a CPR training session and broke down. Fuck. It was the infant mannequin. I started to think, what would I do if there was an infant in a situation that requires this kind of severe treatment? And it is severe. Brutal. I cried. The rest of the class thinks I'm a nut. They can just kiss it. It was sad. And my chick parts, they weep. They wept.
Cross country, leaving the flatlands. Nebraska and the past were swept aside as I started west in my van. Most of my meager possessions were in tow. They were behind me, leaving just enough space to sleep. My dignity had made itself scarce. Doubting I'd ever be missed, I left my self-esteem to party without me. Flying headlong to a different state of being, moving fast to a different state of the union, one with oceans, mountains, and trees. Landscapes unlike the flatlands of my underwhelming youth. Something completely different than the lad on my father's farm. Mother wanted no one to escape. In the end, I retreated, as I knew I must. There was no choice. A delay for a few days, then elbows pumping hard, my wild-ass break would start. The waiting. Summer heat had come at us in May. No rains, but a bumper crop of heat. By early July, the dust caught me, picked me up, and tossed hard. Tears in my eyes, I blamed on the dust. Late August came as a violent salvation. The distant roar of thunder came closer. Flashes on the horizon, fluttering clouds of various dark hues were closing in. Rains as thick as summer fever dreams swept through the sky and silenced the droning of the giant oven that had become our landscape. Then the landscape clears. The air is fresh but heavy. The dust of summer was hammered down. This was the signal I'd waited for. Getting there. Bolting across the landscape as fast as the law would allow, plus 10 or 20 over the line, or whatever the van could stand. Plowing against the wind, right to left, through the night into the early hours. The prize was discovery, a freedom never known. The flatlands behind me. My life could begin. Wyoming. After crossing the line, there was a sense of new being, reborn into a new world of multicolored freedom, irregular variations of landscape. A new world from home, a new sensation of life. The air was crisper, colder than expected. Cheyenne. Late nights till dark, early morning, I took roadside refuge. I pulled into a chain restaurant. I was needing sleep and food. The building was the same as at home. The food was the same as at home. The waitresses were also the same. Yeah, I paid my bill and stretched into the back of my van. I started sleeping the sleep of the free, pushing. Radio signals faded out, new signals formed, new signals appeared. Nobody told me of the emptiness between flatlands and mountains. Focused desolation across the dial. The peaks ahead of me refused to come closer. Tetons. The mountains just appeared. They were just there. Mountains blocked my path. The Grand Tetons, the first and only mountains I would ever see in person. Standing at the edge of a lake, the mountains faced me. Sunlit backlighting, light winking over the cold stone, the scent of the peak's stillness reached across the water. The sweetness of life and the meaning of death smiled down on me. I stood there until the light had left me, and then after learning the emptiness I carried inside would always be there, I stretched into the back of my van. I slept the final sleep of the free. In the morning, I headed home.
It was the one way I could be different from Dad. He was an angry, ugly drunk, violent, not sweet and souse like me now. I didn't drink. Not in high school, not in college at first. The guys all thought I was nuts. My quiet rebellion. The old man hadn't even wanted me to go to college. But then, after Bub killed Dad, I didn't mean to say that, Samantha, I know. I always told you Dad fell and hit his head. He did. I just never said he was helped or that it was my kid brother. Look, I was dating a sophisticated girl. She was back home from out east. You think the orphan son of a drunk farmer is going to mess it up with a detail like that? Sweetie, I'm from a murderous family. Everything I said to you was true. I told you as much, Sam, as you needed to know. He fell at home, he died. Bub didn't push him. He stuck out his leg. He tripped over it. You want to know why Bub did that? To make Dad let go of Mom. Was he beating her? Not that time. Dragging her across the floor by the hair. Stuff like that happened a lot. He was rough. Abusive? Yeah. Harmed his wife? Oh, yeah. It was freshman year, January 3, 66. Monday, first day back, we were taking our fall exams. He'd been drinking since he came in from the fields Friday. 3 days straight. How old was Bub? 11. Killed his father at age 11 in the living room. His head cracked on the fireplace flagstones. That's what Bub told the sheriff's deputy at the village hall. Dean Elder and me, we took Bub there. No charges, given, well, dragging by the hair took care of that. American history. Doc Smith's exam, right in the middle of it. Dean Elders walks in, comes up to my desk, motions to me. I go out of the room with him. He says, "Son, there's been an accident. I'm driving you home." I say, "But sir, my exam." He says, "We'll take care of that later, son." So we got in his car and he drove us. The dean knew every county road around here, no interstate then. We took Old State Road, then 123 to Prentice, through Ashland, bypassed Cartwright, through Tallulah, Lewisburg, into Cantrell, right up to the house. I ran in, and there he was on the living room floor, dead. Old Doc Marston was on the phone, talking to Harold Mott at the funeral home in Athens. Mom and Bub were in the kitchen. I didn't mean him to die. I didn't mean him to die. Over and over again. Jerry, Doc Marston told me, you better go over to the village hall with Bub. The deputy will meet you there. So we went in Dean Elder's car, and Bub told the deputy. Then Dean Elder got back in his car and drove away. The deputy took us home. A few days later, back on campus, I took my first drink.